Hi everyone, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate them. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It is a broad spectrum reading. It is for the collective, so basically take what you need and leave the rest. For those of you, that it's originally created for Thursday, the 12th of December, but it's not, January, but it's not solely set for that date. If you're seeing it on a different date and it makes sense, by all means utilize it. If it doesn't make sense or doesn't resonate, that's okay. It just might mean you're working on something different at this time. I will be referring back to the Sunday underpinning reading, which is in the lower, populates in the lower left-hand corner, and that is the energy that is underpinning these cards throughout the week. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu, and there is information about what decks I'm using, general housekeeping information, things I want you to think about while utilizing the channel, and how to contact me via social media if you're interested in a private reading. Know that I will never reach out to you. You need to always reach out to me, either the Facebook business page or my Instagram. And also easy ways to support the channel. You can do that by hitting that thumbs up button, subscribing to the channel, leaving a question or comment, or sharing the video out. Let's see what's going on with these cards today for the 12th of January. Why don't you say December? I guess I don't want to be in 2023. I don't want to go back to 2022. Let's see. What do they want us to know? That's not a good cut. One more shuffle. That was a messy cut. That's more like it. Okay. Oh, wow. So our card is the Wheel of Fortune. Major Arcana. Associated with Sagittarius. This could go any which way today. Like, I get this real sense of opportunities knocking. We get to define sort of how and where we go. This is pulling me back to the Sunday reading and that idea of kind of us unconsciously creating new outcomes, scenarios, ideas, desires that we could be launching off subconsciously. And the reason why I say that is because the Wheel of Fortune is sort of like the door opening, or the universe opening up to us, trying to steer us in a direction that's best suited to us. With the Wheel of Fortune, to me, it doesn't always necessarily move fast. It's kind of like, the path becomes more clear as we move forward. But we also have to be aware that there is a path that's out there for us that we need to be open to, right? So, maybe connecting with spirit and opening ourselves up to opportunities and possibilities that may be out there would be key today. And then following that, right? This bird kind of glides on the air. This bird that we have here, snake, is about transmutation. So a situation is transmuting, changing, or avenues are transmuting and changing. Doors are opening for us, and there's a lot of possibility with this card. Also with the Wheel of Fortune, I will say this, we do get what we focus on with the Wheel of Fortune. So if we're focused in a way that's not suiting us, or that is not in our best alignment, we're going to find that we're going to run into roadblocks, or we're going to get more stress, more pushback, more struggle, right? So I feel like clocking how we're feeling when we're pursuing something, an idea, a thought, an avenue or path, option, a desire. If we're remaining blocked or feeling like we're blocked, that's probably not the route, is what the Wheel of Fortune tells me. The Wheel of Fortune will open up to us and take us in a direction that we maybe didn't see coming, or that was unexpected. But honestly, with the Wheel of Fortune, we want to look for where the flow state is. And it's interesting that the absolute affirmations, I'll show you in a minute, because the flow state is very much this Wheel of Fortune card. So when we find ourselves in alignment or in harmony with the Wheel of Fortune, things will roll forward in a way, maybe not quickly, but in a way that's easeful, that is in alignment, that feels right to us. Now, with the Sunday reading, there's this underpinning energy of what I, oh, look at what's at the bottom of the deck right before I cut the Wheel of Fortune again. Interesting on the clarifiers. Huh. Um, it's kind of like we need to just open ourselves up, open up our minds, our hearts, our spirit, and ask for like the universe, our gods, our angels, our guides to come in and assist us in steering us in the right direction. The Wheel of Fortune is always going to lead us to our highest good if we allow it to. If we struggle against it or we pursue something that's out of alignment with the Wheel of Fortune, again, like I said, we're going to feel it. We're going to come up against blocks or triggers or discomfort that is going to indicate to us that we're not heading maybe in the right direction, or that it's something that, you know, and we could stay stuck there, and it could, you know, show us more and more of the negative, or what it is sort of we don't want through negative experience, until we realize, oh wait, this isn't the right way. There is no wrong decision with the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is going to give us more of whatever it is we're focused on, and then through that, you know, we either learn to expand. Ultimately, the Wheel of Fortune is about expansion because it's associated with Sagittarius, which is Jupiter, which is expansion. But it's almost like we get the choice in how we expand, when we expand, and at the rate of expansion that we want. The wheel is going to just serve us. So if we're heading in a direction that's offering us, you know, that's not growing us or makes us feel uncomfortable, we're going to expand more in that uncomfortability until we realize, like, hey, oh, this is not going to work for me anymore. This is hurting me, or this is bothering me, or this is just bringing too much pain. And then we transmute that pain, and then the wheel starts to move forward, and we can soar forward like this eagle. Now, the reason why I say flow state is this is the absolute affirmations card. My energy flows abundantly. We've seen a fair amount of the King of Cups this week too. And these wands cards, like the Eight of Wands showing up, you know, that's a very much a flow state too, of quick movement and movement forward. So I like that this card shows up about my energy flowing abundantly. We need to be aware of where we focus our attention is kind of more of what we're going to receive. Like I said, if we're putting our attention on something that's negative or not necessarily in our highest good, we're going to find more discomfort, more diversion, or aversion, or conflict, challenge. If we move towards this state of being open and flow, then we move towards what is actually new to us, or new doors open up to us, new opportunities open up to us. So let me read you this card. A deep reservoir of energy exists within you. When managed properly, your supply flows endlessly. Limit overexertion and prioritize rest and rejuvenation to function at your highest capacity. Draw upon your reserves as needed to take positive action and revitalize those around you. I like this because it also reminds us that sometimes we don't have to do anything, right? We can just be open and let sort of the signs and synchronicities around us indicate to us which direction we need to flow into. And the wheel would definitely like exemplify that meaning, but also it would honor that, or expand that for us in very positive ways if we remain open to it. The next card underneath, I just want to show this because this showed up earlier this week too, is I am the source of creativity. We have all of this color in the Wheel of Fortune, and all of this half of the brain, which is the more maybe creative side of the brain, has all of this color and opportunity. If we're stuck in the more thinking side, or the, you know, black and white side of things, we could think ourselves out of this opportunity to flow towards what it is that is highest suited to us. And remember, in the midweek card, in the Eight of Wands, in the Sunday reading, there was that picture of that brain shooting off the Eight Wands to me, which makes me feel like our brain may not even be in alignment. I don't want to say it's not in alignment, but we may not be aware of the desires or the mental output that we're putting out from our subconscious may not be in alignment with the thoughts that we're having. So we need to get in alignment with where our emotional flow is at, and allow that emotional flow to guide us into the universal flow, and then move towards what is our highest good. Now let's look at the clarifiers. We have the Ten of Cups, speaking of highest good, and speaking of emotions, and speaking of water and flow. there is a goal here, a bigger goal or a bigger desire, a bigger emotional connection of happiness and completion that we're seeking that is attainable to us, whether we believe it or not, is what I'm going to say. Because to me, this Ten of Cups feels like the end game goal, or where the wheel wants to lead us if we will allow it. The next card is the Five of Wands. This could be, Wands is about that desire and that, you know, it can be about movement. Fives are transitory, but to me, this could be us either stuck on it being a certain way or stuck on it playing out a certain way, fighting for what we think it is we desire. And it creates, it is transitory. We will give it up at some point. This could be others fighting us too about where we want to flow or how we want to flow, not quite understanding or telling us, oh no, you need to flow this way. Five of Wands can oftentimes be about politics or debate, or other people's opinions. It often indicates, you know, a clashing of opinions. It's not necessarily always a fight we have to be involved in, but for some reason I feel like this could be a fight within ourselves. I almost feel like these five wands are trying to shoot off or trying to inform our desire, but mentally we could be arguing, debating, or overthinking what it is we desire, or whether or not we believe we can attain or have or flow towards our desire. So keep that in mind today. If you feel like you are in conflict towards whatever it is that you're trying to work towards, if it's blocking you or you're not getting there, we need to like pivot or shift direction, is my feeling. The next card is the Ten of Wands. This says to me that this Five of Wands, this argument, or within our head, within our heart, within our spirit, that might be fighting within our flow, we will get to a certain point where we realize, gather up our wands in this fight, get them together, and begin to carry our desires forward to release them in a productive manner. We're no longer going to carry this burden, because that's oftentimes the Ten of Wands meaning, any further. We're almost at this at the end point or the finish line, right? And we get to release the burden, and then the Wheel of Fortune gets to turn forward, our energy gets to flow, and we get to flow towards this Ten of Cups. I do love that we have the 10 and the 10 here. There's something coming to an ending. Tens are oftentimes an ending not only for ourselves, but for everyone else involved. And usually they are positive, right? So be aware if there's any conflict, because that would be the Five of Wands within us or around us. We don't necessarily have to give into it. We don't necessarily have to give attention to it. We can transform it. We can, like, it's almost like this guy's picking up his wands and leaving the fight and moving to the future, getting ready to let go of this burden or whatever, and focus more on the 10 wands of desire and what it is that he wants, and understands that he has the strength and the resilience to get there. But we have to believe that, even in the face of somebody telling us otherwise, right? Or maybe a situation is telling us otherwise, through that Five of Wands. Remember that Eight of Wands too is underpinning this, so there's a lot of fire energy, there's a lot of desire and spiritual connection here that is driving us right now towards this emotional sort of completion or highest goal that we need to trust, is my feeling. Remember too, the grounding stone underpinning all of this is meditation, so if there's some sort of unclear vibe or message that we're getting, or if there's clash that we're coming up against, we need to meditate on, are we actually going after the right thing? Are we in alignment to what it is our heart truly desires, or what it is that we truly want? Here is the grounding stone for the day. It's joy. Now, I love this as a grounding stone, especially during this time, because it looks like joy is a very high vibrational energy, first and foremost. Nothing sticks to joy that's negative. But the other thing, and joy would be definitely in that Ten of Cups, in that outcome. The Wheel of Fortune wants to steer us towards what brings us joy, what is our highest heart's content. And our energy should naturally want to flow towards that. Sometimes our ego or our mind, our 3D self, wants to get in the way of that and, plan it out or take precautions to make sure it happens in a certain way, time frame, to a certain plan. That could be the Five of Wands energy today. I I think grounding in our joy and what brings us joy is going to allow us to alleviate the conflict that we see in that Five of Wands, whether that conflict is internal within us or coming from an external source, and allows us to actually take our desires through the Ten of Wands, pick up those desires, organize them to a degree, and carry them to the finish line, or at least towards the future in a more manageable, resilient, and clear way, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I think that it does. So today is a day of definitely transition. It's whether or not we're in alignment with that transition and then getting our ass into alignment with that transition through grounding in joy, meditating on what it is we want, getting clear on whether or not our brain is in alignment with our soul's desires, right? The thinking brain versus the processing brain versus the creative subconscious brain. Aligning that and then watching things open up for us and transform. That is your reading. Please, if you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, tune in tomorrow to see how this energy changes. Please share the video out and leave me a question or comment. I greatly appreciate all of them. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.